Welcome to the 2012 Political Analysis. Today we're going to be looking at New Mexico. First we have 2 ads from the congressional race, and then we'll look at 2 ads from the senatorial race. Let's begin with the congressional race.
For nearly a decade, Michelle Lujan Grisham has been the definition of a quality candidate. Having previously served as New Mexico's health secretary and elected as a county commissioner, Michelle has dedicated much of her adult life to public service. In her primary, Michelle appealed to moderate and independent-minded voters, despite super PAC opposition from progressive groups. The voters of District 1 recognized the importance of this, having previously voted into office both Democrat and Republican representatives. Michelle will stand with the president on the district's most important issues, and also recognizes the importance of women's health issues. At a time when New Mexico has one of the highest teen pregnancy rates in the nation, Michelle understands that family planning services should not be on the chopping block. While her opponent has been making headlines recently for comments that seem to come from Rush Limbaugh's radio transcript, for Michelle, New Mexico's newspapers know her as someone who is remarkably passionate about creating a better life for those who are scraping by in this economy, and not afraid to take on the tough issues. It's no wonder that poll after poll, Michelle is leading the race between 12 and 15 points. New Mexicans see Michelle as the candidate who will best serve them in Congress.
People have said Republicans have no shot at winning New Mexico's 1st congressional district, but the fact is, this district has swung back and forth between Republicans and Democrats over the years. This year, it's an open seat race. Enter Janice Arnold Jones. Arnold Jones spent 8 years as a state representative fighting for transparency in government. Janice has also been a small business owner and knows the challenges facing the middle class. Now, you might have heard that Arnold Jones is being outspent nearly 3-1, but what you haven't heard is that while Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham has received over $420,000 from liberal PACs, Janice has raised nearly all of her money from individual donors, and all without any help from the state or national party. Vote Janice Arnold Jones on November 6th.
In the open seat of the 1st Congressional District of New Mexico, we have 2 candidates, Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham and Republican Janice Arnold Jones. In the past, these elections have been close between the Democratic and Republican parties. However, we expect a Democratic victory due to the lack of funding provided by the National Party and the Republican PACs. So we expect a 53% to 47% win for Lujan Grisham.
Heather Wilson, former member of the House of Representatives, is a military veteran who holds the title of Quality Challenger. She is a Republican who promises to help New Mexico by lowering taxes, reducing the deficit, scaling back regulations, and repealing Obamacare. Unlike Heather Wilson, who wants to save money for New Mexico, Martin Heinrich voted to spend over $1 trillion on a failed stimulus, sent $2 million to California for an ant collection, while New Mexico lost around 27,000 jobs. Heinrich raised less money than Wilson and even spent more money on his campaign. Save money. Help New Mexico. Vote for Heather Wilson.
Heather Wilson is not a candidate for the people of New Mexico. While she rubs shoulders with Washington insiders like the Koch brothers and Karl Rove, and has hundreds of thousands of dollars poured into her campaigns from PACs, Martin Heinrich still remains with at least a solid 8 to 10 point lead in the senatorial polls. Martin Heinrich, most previously the congressman from New Mexico's 1st District, has proven he will fight for what matters to our community, such as the environment and education. Look at where over $6 million he has raised has come from. Heather Wilson already lost 1 senatorial bid in New Mexico. Vote Martin Heinrich for Senate.
In the interesting senatorial race in New Mexico, we have 2 candidates, Democrat Martin Heinrich and Republican Heather Wilson. In 2008, Heather Wilson ran against Steve Pearce in the Republican primary for the Senate race, however lost to him, and he later went on to lose to Tom Udall, the Democrat. Now, Heather Wilson in this race is vastly outspending Martin Heinrich by hundreds of thousands of dollars, mainly provided by PACs and Karl Rove. However, we see a 10 to 12 point lead for the Democrats. So this election, we expect a 54% to 46% victory for Martin Heinrich.